So there's an interesting new game on the way that I simply must talk about. Developed by Inti Creates with the man himself, Keiji Inafune at the helm, Azure Striker Gunvolt is set to hit the eShop on handhelds in a few months, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty stoked for this. You all know how much I resent Capcom for their treatment of Mega Man and how they've neglected the supposedly too small to make a profit from, so they aren't worth making any games for Mega Man fanbase. So I won't go into that too much. In any case, I find this game refreshing. It's being called a spiritual successor to the Mega Man Zero games with some influences from the ZX games. That's pretty spot on, and I love it for that. Basically, you play as some cool dude with long blonde hair taking on oodles and oodles of robots. You're part of a resistance movement against the government, which is putting people like you into concentration camps and doing Lord knows what to them. And there's some cute girl who's kind of at the center of it all. Sound familiar? Okay, so it's Mega Man Zero's story all over again, but with more humans and whatnot. As for the game's presentation, it looks and sounds like a ZX game. I recognized a few sound effects such as the noise they used a lot in those games. You know, that noise. And the enemy designs are very familiar as well. The way they move and change weapon configurations and whatnot is just like ZX. Characters like Daytona look very much like villains you'd see in a ZX game, like Pandora and Prometheus. The environments are also reminiscent of the ZX and Zero games. I mean, it's no stretch to say that these new enemies and characters were designed by the same people, but I can't help thinking that at least a few of these assets may be leftovers from some unfinished ZX3 that was canned long ago. Either way, it's great to see Inti Creates has been busy. I love their whole style, art-wise and gameplay-wise. Some are saying it looks generic and too anime-ish, which I can understand in the case of certain character designs. But I don't know, I still think it looks cool. It's very slick and has an intense vibe. I look forward to being sucked into whatever world they've developed because I generally like the worlds these guys create. I also like the sprite-based look of it. Though I'm kinda surprised that we're seeing a game like this made now, I still find it refreshing. Okay, so about the gameplay. Basically, you have a gun, but it's not very effective against enemies when used conventionally. Instead of bullets, it fires lightning rods that latch onto enemies. While the rods don't do that much damage on their own, you can use them to conduct electricity into the enemies and deal much more damage. If you hit them with multiple rods, the damage is doubled or tripled. It sounds strange, but I think it's a pretty innovative combat mechanic. Some are saying this will make the game too easy because this ability could be game-breaking, but I don't know. You have to do it just right. I mean, it does seem to involve some skill. Again, I appreciate it for being something different. Aside from that, it looks like a very Mega Man-ish game, though dashing works differently now, and while you can still wall jump, you can't cling to walls. Overall, I'm excited to play this. Remember the times I said I'd buy a 3DS just to play Legends 3 if it had been released? Yeah, as many great games as there are on the 3DS that I'd love to play, I still have yet to get one. Though I guess I have to get one now. I mean, it's not like I can keep using my old DS to play the ZX and Star Force games forever. The shoulder buttons are worn out and the charger isn't working anymore, so yeah, I'm just gonna admit now that I may have a problem. I'm basically addicted to Mega Man games, and if I want my fix, if I want something new, I'm gonna have to turn to the 3DS. That's just how much I need my Blue Bomber action. I mean, Azure Striker. I may as well talk a bit about the skeptics of this game. There are those who are rolling their eyes at the whole idea of this. They're saying that, regardless of whether or not the gameplay is good, Keiji has become a one-trick pony, just slightly retooling and reskinning Capcom products to spite them and give them the middle finger. Well, why the fuck not? Doodles.